Why us? Why us? Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to Lineup Predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. Chelsea, the opponents on Monday night, so we've got plenty of time until that game. 8 o'clock live on Sky Sports. 16th currently on Newcastle up against Chelsea, who are in 5th, just outside the top 4. Pretty close there, pretty close at the bottom for us as well though. Like target, we've been absolutely smashing it lately guys, thank you so much for the support. This one I'm going to set a big one. We've gone past it before, but I've never set it so high. 300 likes for this video, please and thanks. We've been over that many a time before when setting 250 likes, but yep, 300 for now, and we're only 270 I think, or roughly about 270 subscribers off the big 10,000 mark, which we've been trying to hit for a long time. But if you've been long time subscribers, you'll know we've had issues with trying to get the channel back on track, having to redo it. This is the Magpie Channel 2.0, so yeah, we're nearly at 10k. Please support the channel. Now then, huge news on the injury front. 3 of them. If you didn't watch the Southampton game, 3 players went down. They all looked quite bad. Fabian Schär's looked the worst, which in fairness, it's actually not even that bad. It's the others that are the main concern. Callum Wilson being the biggest concern. He's done his hamstring. I was hearing rumours during the week that it may not be as bad. Like, we knew it was going to be a hamstring injury, which can be weeks or months. You never really know. It depends on the extent of the damage with a hamstring. But it's 6 to 8 weeks. That's a long time to be out when you're the main player, the main goal getter, been so important to us this season, with the exception maybe of Carl Darlow. He's just been absolutely priceless for us this season. Without them, without the 2 of them, would be in the bottom 3. Quite simple. Without the points he's single-handedly picked up in games, whether it's been to take all 3 points like Everton 2-0 win or Tottenham 1-1 draw. Without his goals, we'd be absolutely cream crackered. So 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully it's the earlier one, 6. Even 6 is a long time, but hopefully he can shake that off and be back as soon as possible. Javier Manquillo, he's going to be around about 8 weeks with ankle ligament damage, around about the same time as Fabian Schär, who's ruptured the ligament in his right knee. 8 weeks, to be fair, for how it looked, it's actually not that bad. Like, I expected him to be out for the full season. He targeted himself. He put on Twitter that he hopes to make the Euros, but 8 weeks isn't really that bad for what it could have been. I thought it was going to be more 8 months. I thought it was going to be a long time. So yeah, suppose that's good news. Like I say, 8 weeks is a long time in the league, but when you expect it to be longer, it's not that bad. But obviously Callum Wilson, he's the main concern. You were hoping it was going to be days. We knew he'd probably miss the Chelsea game. We knew he wouldn't be back for that one, but maybe the next one, maybe. But it's not to be. Kieran Clark will be back in the squad, but obviously he wasn't out of the Southampton game through any injury or suspension or anything. It was to support his partner who was given labour, so congratulations to them. But it may be good news on the centre-back front, which it hasn't been for quite a while. With Schär back, there's also a possibility of Federico Fernandez and Jamal Lascelles coming back, which is massive news on all 3 of them, Clark included, because the centre-backs have been a major issue. Obviously, the Southampton game, we only had Fabian Schär as the recognised centre-back, with Isaac Hayden playing alongside him, with Clark, Fernandez and Lascelles out. Dummett came off the bench to fill in a back 5 and was absolutely fantastic, but he's not really a starter in a flat-back 4 at centre-back for me. So yeah, Clark's got to go straight to the starting lineup. Like, we know he's fit. Fernandez and Lascelles maybe a little bit too early. I think Fernandez as well. I think he was expected to be out for a little bit longer. So if he gets a game back, maybe rushing him a little bit back. So we need to be very careful on that. Chelsea are expected to be without Thiago Silva, Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic. There's a chance of Havertz being available, but we need to wait and hear from Thomas Tuchel on that situation. He's unbeaten so far. Thomas Tuchel been playing quite well. 4 games I think it is now, with Barnsley as well coming up. But we'll go more into that in the match preview coming up with Louis Beneventi, so look out for that one. That's live on the channel now, so go and check that out. Into the lineup then, and as I mentioned, Karl Darlow's been one of our key players this season, and I believe he will remain to be the starter until he really fucks up, which he hasn't had yet. I know a lot of fans are calling for Dubravka back. I've been saying the same thing for the last few weeks. I'm going to give a spoiler alert, and until Darlow makes a big mistake and Bruce decides to bring Dubravka back, I'm pretty much going to be predicting Karl Darlow to start in every game. I think he deserves it. I don't think he deserves to be dropped. Like, if Dubravka comes back, it's obviously a fantastic replacement. So, you know, like, it's a tough choice for Bruce, but I think Darlow needs to really slip up for Dubravka to claim his spot back. But at the minute, he's not doing anything wrong. He's looking a little bit shaky in his crosser in collection, punching it out, but you know, it hasn't been too costly. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything to warrant being dropped yet, so he's staying in for me. In the back line then, and I'm hoping we're going to remain with the same formation that we've been playing. Like, Chelsea's a good team, got loads of brilliant attacking outlets. So it wouldn't surprise us if Brucey shit the bed and reverted straight back to 5 at the back. First time since we've gone to the 4, playing a big team, like one of the top 6 teams. So I'd honestly wouldn't be surprised to see back 5, but hopefully he's got the balls. Hopefully Graham Jones can grab him by the balls and be like, "They've gone 5 at the back, Brucey. Oh, just stick it out." Like, it's okay if we get beat. Chelsea's a good team, whether we play 4 at the back, 5 at the back, 6 at the back. It doesn't matter. Like, they're a good team. If they're going to get through, they'll get through. So I'd rather we just play the way we've been playing for the last couple of games, because the last 3 games have been our best run all season, probably in the last 2-3 years, to be honest. Might be a little bit over the top, but you know. So right back, Emil Kraft. He obviously replaced Javier Manquillo on Saturday quite early on, and is the only other right back option. A few weeks ago when we were playing right back bingo, we had 4 available, including 2 wing backs in Jacob Murphy and DeAndre Yedlin. Obviously Murphy's not a full back. He does all right for me in a wing back formation, but I don't want to see him playing right back, and he hasn't even been in the squad for the last few weeks. I don't really know why. It hasn't really been a fitness issue, so I don't really know what's going on with Steve Bruce and Jacob Murphy. And obviously DeAndre Yedlin's away to Fenerbahce, or is it Galatasaray? I get them mixed up. It's Galatasaray. He's got to Galatasaray. So yeah, Kraft's the only other option at right back in the absence of Javier Manquillo. And he did a good job. Like, if you've been watching the channel, you know, like, I don't hate Kraft. I know he takes a lot of stick, more than I think he deserves. He's a decent enough fullback. He's not a great wing back, but when he came on the other day, he did all right against Southampton. He did his job. Why I just hold out, particularly in that second half. Why I just block everything, because Southampton were throwing the kitchen sink in. We were down to 9 men, as there should have been. Southampton probably should have gotten an equaliser, if not even win that game with what they had against them. With us having forced into 3 substitutes, having a man sent off, Shaw having to go off. Southampton really could have done more, but the likes of Kraft, Hayden, Dummett, absolute brick walls at the back. So yeah, Kraft, only option, but a good option in my opinion. I'm going to give you 2 lineups here, because we're going to play what I hope to see, what I think I would like to see, but may not be realistic depending on how Brucey sees it, depending on injuries, fitness, etc. So I'm just going to say I would like to see Federico Fernandez start at centre-back with Kieran Clark. However, I don't really know what his fitness is like. I probably wouldn't rush him in, as I said before. Maybe the same for Jamal Lascelles. Fernandez and Clark are the 2 best centre-backs in my opinion. I think the best partnership we can possibly have. The 2 most consistent players we've had at centre-back over the past year or so. So that's what I would like to see, but realistically, I think we'll probably see Hayden in there again, alongside Kieran Clark. He's got to come in and take over from where Shaw left off on Saturday. Like I say, it wasn't an injury or any issue for Kieran Clark, so he should be fit, ready to go straight back into the starting lineup. The worry is, well, it's not a worry, but the question is, who's going to partner him? Will it be Hayden again? Will Fernandez or Lascelles be brought back? At left back, there's only one option that has been all season, because we've got absolutely no squad depth in that area, but the last 3-4 games since changing this formation, Jamal Lewis has been absolutely outstanding. I wasn't his biggest fan. I thought he'd be better as a wing back, but he's clearly fucking not. Defensively were his main issues. Getting forward was where he was best, but As a fullback, he's been outstanding. He was a doubt. Bruce ruled him out against Southampton, so he was a surprise starter, one of the actual few that lasted 90 minutes. So fair play to Lewis. As long as he's performing like this and he's fit, he's a starting 11 player, no questions about it. Centre mid's a bit of a tough one, so again, I'm going to say what I would like to see more than what I predict. Obviously, it depends what's going to happen. Jeff Hendrick suspended after his red card against Southampton, and depending on where Isaac Hayden's going to play, he's obviously going to be in the starting 11. No doubt about that one, but will he be a centre mid or a centre back? So what I would like to see is obviously Hayden in centre mid if I'm going to put Fernandez at centre back, with Shelvey and Joe Willock. But as a prediction, Hayden will probably be at centre back as per mentioned. So who's going to replace Hendrick? Hendrick's been a starter for the last 3 or 4 games, but now suspended. Shelvey is pretty much rooted. He's had the captain's armband for the last few weeks. Joe Willock, after a superb debut, he's obviously got to go in. But if Hayden isn't playing centre mid, there's a spot up for grabs, which could be anyone's really. But personally, I would like to see Matty Longstaff. If it's not Matty, it's probably going to be Sean. And between the two of them, there's only one there for me. Unless we do something a little bit drastic, change the formation, maybe put Miggy Almiron or someone else there, I'm not too sure. But yeah, if Hendrick's suspended and Hayden's at centre back, with Willock and Shelvey, there's only one option there for me, and that's Matty Longstaff. Up front then, and this is a little bit of a funny one after what Brucey said in his press conference, because he's tried to big up Dwight Gale and Andy Carroll, Joe Linton as well, is who's going to replace Callum Wilson. Obviously, Miggy's been playing as a false 9 the last few weeks with Callum Wilson on the right-hand side. So for me, I don't think you need to replace a striker with a striker. Like, this formation doesn't really... We don't need it. Just because Callum Wilson's been playing well there, it doesn't mean Dwight Gale will play well there. We don't need to force that like-for-like change because the formation doesn't really suit that. Like, Sir Maximin's not a striker. Ryan Fraser's not a striker, but they've been playing as forwards on the other side. So why does Gale have to play right forward? I don't really understand that. I will give props to Joe Linton though. I said during the watch-along, when he came on to replace Wilson, everyone was raging. I think everyone was surprised. I was as well, to be honest with you. But I would like to see him be given a chance there. On the left-hand side, that's his position. That's where he played for Hoffenheim. That's where he was good. Like, we haven't seen him there. We obviously know he's not a striker. He's not a number 9. Certainly not a lone striker in a defensive formation isolated to fuck. He's playing on the left wing. He's done okay in some games. I'm not a hater of him at left wing. He does all right. He does the dirty work, but it's not great. But as a left forward, that probably is his sole position, the lone position where he can do well. So I would like to see him be given a chance. If he gets a chance and he fucks up, fair enough. At least now we know he's not really good enough in any position, but I'd like to see him be given a chance. He got a little bit of stick on Saturday as well, which I thought wasn't really necessary. Going forward, maybe not great. He had some play in the build-up to Shelvey's skewed shot like early on in the second half. He was okay there, linking up with Joe Willock to get the ball into Shelvey. But his defensive duties, he was great, like Emil Kraft, when we needed it, when we were trying to cause that brick wall at the back. Joe Linton was getting back and doing his defensive duties, the dirty work. It was all great. And after we went down to 10 and 9 men, we didn't really have much opportunities going forward. It was just backs against the wall, defend, see this 3 points out. So, yeah, I think Joe Linton deserves a chance. Like, give him credit, see what he's like. If he's shit, there we go. Mine's made up. He's not really good enough in any position. Don't get him in the squad. Get Gale or Carroll on, whatever. But as I say, I don't think a striker needs to replace Callum Wilson. What I would do is keep Miggy as the false 9 and have Sir Maximin and Ryan Fraser either side. We all know they're starting 11 players. That would ideally be our back 3 with Wilson up top if we were going to play a 4-2-3-1, which is the formation we've been saying for weeks and months is probably our best formation to see the best out of our players. But with the way things are going, it's doing well. Like, credit to, well, maybe not Steve Bruce, but Graham Jones for coming in and realising this, sorting it out. And with Joe Willock as the number 8 that I think we've been crying out for, getting forward, linking up with the attack. Miggy's doing brilliantly. So if Fraser, Sir Maximin, either side, it doesn't matter. They're both versatile. They're both comfortable on the right and the left. With them on the outside, cutting in, getting shots off, laying off to Miggy, laying it off to Willock. I think that's the best formation we've got. We can make changes in the second half if it's not working. Like Joelinton, give him a chance. Give Gale a chance. Carroll up top, whatever it is. We've got options on the bench. We don't need to go all out. I think that's our best formation, our best personnel for the starting 11. See what we can do. I don't think we need to go all out defensive against Chelsea. We should just play our game, not play theirs. Play the same formation that we've been playing. Put our best players in, not give people a chance like Gale, like Joelinton. I think go like this, attack them, just get at them. So Maximin, Fraser outside, Miggy, Willock, Shelvey, Hayden, hopefully sitting deep. I think we've got a chance, I really do.
We'll take a look at the bench there then, and obviously Matt Dubravka in goal. This is excluding Lascelles and Fernandez, depending on how they end up. Will they be in the starting 11? Will they be on the bench? Not too sure. Will they make it at all? Paul Dummett deserves his spot if we need to go defensively again. He's there. Absolute outstanding performance against Southampton. Matt Ritchie, Jacob Murphy and Sean Longstaff I'm putting in here, although they've been excluded in the last few squads. Not even a place on the bench. Not really sure what the situation with them are, particularly Murphy. Anderson, he'll come in if there's no Lascelles and Fernandez. No Atsu. Don't really want to say Christian Atsu just yet. Joelinton, if he's not starting, well, all three of them really. Joelinton, Gale and Carroll, will they get an opportunity? Will they be on the bench, or will it be Ryan Fraser? Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Put your lineup prediction in the comments below, as well as a score prediction. I don't really want to give one. If you want to see more thoughts on that, head over to the match preview with Louis Beneventi. I'll be on his channel as well, so go and check that out. Come back on Monday for the live watch along and all the afters. Thanks very much. Don't forget, like and subscribe and enjoy yourself.